Tesla has been one of the most best performing stocks in the last year and has also been one of the most trending and hyped stocks. In the last month alone, it has risen another 45%. Today I'll examine whether Tesla is a good purchase at near $1,400 a share, so stay tuned. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Contrarian. My name's Logan. I like to talk about success in investing and going against crowd thinking. If you like these videos, please hit the subscribe and like button so I can continue to make them. So I want to disclose that I previously had a position in Tesla up until just a few months ago. I did sell too soon, just because I didn't think it would blow up the way it has. So my first examination with Tesla is the market as a whole, and the market has completely lost its mind recently, with Hertz as a good example of this. If you don't know, Hertz recently filed for bankruptcy, and then it rocketed 400% or more in several days. So the market has clearly lost its mind. This was largely due to Robinhood and other trading apps that have, grown immensely popular during this whole COVID season. And these people have very little experience, if any, and so they'll, for whatever reason, it may have been a group thinking mentality or some sort of post that they saw, but they just all bought into Hertz and sent it up 400%, even though it had declared bankruptcy. And traditionally, this would be a completely insane thing. You would not see this happen, but it just shows that the market's completely lost its mind recently. It's also important to realize that some professional traders stand to profit massively if they can easily drive hype around a particular stock and then sell at huge profits, leaving these Robinhood investors with the stock and then have it crash on them a few days or even just a few hours later. And then let's look at Tesla from a fundamental standpoint. So from fundamentals, Tesla is very, very weak. It is only hype, basically, that drives this company, hype and growth, with thousands of promotional videos and speculations on its technology and potential. It is basically only a cult of a company. It doesn't have really much of any historical value at this point. So return on shareholder equity is non-existent at best and negative at worst. Up until recently, Tesla has had very low, if negative, earnings. So there's definitely not that in its favor. It has no predictable PE ratio, so it's either a non-existent price to earnings ratio, or it's very high. It's only recently that Tesla's actually had much earnings, if any. Current earnings cannot pay down debt quickly. Tesla has a lot of debt right now, very low earnings. Book value is only $50 a share, putting its price to book value at around 28. For comparison, Ford's is at 0.83, so its book value is actually higher than its share price is right now. So Ford is much stronger. From a fundamental standpoint, it could be potentially undervalued right now. The only reason I can see why Tesla would be a good buy would be growth, but this is under serious question right now. Just basically because macroeconomics are not in Tesla's favor. Recently, Ray Dalio, the founder and chief investor at Bridgewater Associates, it's a big hedge fund, it's very famous for outperforming the market, but he came out and said that we're potentially in for a lost decade. A lost decade is essentially where you go, 10 years or more with no growth in the stock market, where if you had bought in at the beginning, you would not have grown your position at all, even after 10 years. So with a potential lost decade ahead of us, and it's not just Ray Dalio saying this, it's many, many other investors. Even though Warren Buffett hasn't said this, he has not bought into any positions. He's actually been a huge net seller of positions in the last few months since COVID. But so Ray Dalio thinks that we will see manufacturing reliability put ahead of cost, and that's essentially a reversing of globalization. This will make us more quality and reliable products, but it's definitely going to hurt company profits. So this is definitely going to hurt Tesla. They may not be hurt as much as others, but it's still going to hurt them significantly. Also, if we do go into a depression or recession for the next several years, the people who lose the most money will be the wealthy, those who buy Tesla's products. It's only the wealthy, the top 50, 10%, or however much, who own who are heavily in real estate and stocks, which likely will hurt immensely if such things happen. You know, real estate stocks are arguably the most valued, overvalued that they've ever been right now. We're very close to the kind of environment that was going on in the 1920s before the Great Depression, of wealth being concentrated very, very heavily in the top 1% or 0.1%. This is very similar to how we are today, with wealth being concentrated in the hands of just a few people. And after the Great Depression, most people don't remember, but it did end up distributing the wealth again. The people who lost the highest percentage of their wealth were the extremely wealthy, who had all of their money or most of their money in real estate and stocks and other assets that just plummeted in value or went worthless. So it's important to realize that if such a thing like this does happen, which I think is probably likely, I would say it's better than a 50-50 chance at this point. These people are not going to be buying Tesla's cars. These are luxury products that Tesla's trying to sell, and like any luxury brand, whether it's Louis Vuitton or Apple, at this point, I would not want to be getting into them because of this. So bottom line, Tesla is just way too risky an investment for me right now. It's one, heavily dependent on future growth, which is under serious doubt. It doesn't have any fundamentals behind it. This is just my take. It could go to $2,000 per share, but it could also fall to $200 per share or go bankrupt. So I'm not sure which is more likely, but bottom line, it's just way too risky for me personally at this point. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down if you didn't like it, and tell me why in the comments, and I hope to see you again.